first, thank you so much for doing this interview. I've got 1,001 questions, but the first one is, how do you and your crew do this in helping put all of this together for the, what was it, 119th edition of the Santa Claus Parade? It's amazing.
It's 119 this year, and it's a lot of work, a lot of prep. It all starts with an idea. So we do drawings, and then from there they get approved by sponsors. And at that point, we take the drawing and we have to blow it up full scale to whatever size we were doing it. So, for example, this year I did the Canadian Tire truck, which was just a 4-inch ornament. So from that, they wanted it 15 feet long. So you got to do a lot of math, a lot of figuring. So you're kind of blending math and art, a little bit of science with all the paint. So it's a lot of work, but it's just step by step, breaking it down little by little.
How does somebody get into this? I already know Santa Claus was kind of born into this with Mrs. Claus, but how do you get into something like this as you know, a gift for not just Toronto, but for the rest of the world?
Well, thank you, first of all. As a young boy, I was always drawing and tinkering around, building go-karts. So I went to high school in North York, C.W. Jeffries, really good art program. So the former manager of the parade always used to recruit students from that school. So I came in here and did paper mache, painted things. So I go, wow, this is a real job, like full-time. So I was just fascinated, and it's like, what a great place to learn skills. So I learned carpentry, fabricating with metal, sculpting styrofoam, painting. There are so many amazing artists here who had so many skills. So it's just so great to be part of a tradition that we still make most things by hand, with a few, you know, new technology things, but mostly very traditional.
Does it take like really the full year to make these amazing floats?
It really does, because some of the floats that are more elaborate can take 3 to 4 months to build. So there's many different moving parts, many different people like coming together to build them. So it does really take a lot.
How do you coordinate with the weather, whether the wind is blowing really hard or it's raining or a snowstorm, to keep what we see together? Because I've never seen an accident ever happen with these amazing floats.
That's a very good question. So when we're building things, we really got to engineer with the weather in mind. Now, if there wasn't a real extreme wind case, we would find a way either to postpone it or get around it, but mostly it's just taking all that into consideration when we're building and make things structurally sound, and don't have things that catch a lot of wind if we can.
What's it like for you to not just see it when it's live, going down the streets of Toronto, or being able to watch it on television, knowing that you and your crew had something to do with bringing a very special moment for a child who was seeing these floats up front, large and loving?
Well, I remember my aunt took me when I was 5 years old to my first parade. So I remember being that little boy just amazed by, wow, like people actually make this. So just to capture that wonder, seeing smiles on children's faces and adults too. Because I think adults sort of connect to when they were kids too. So it's like keeping that wonder alive and wonderment. It's like maybe you can inspire someone to want to do something similar, or just being creative in general.
I love it, my friend. Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you so much to you and your crew for putting these amazing sculptures, I call them sculptures, and art together. And Merry Christmas. All the best.
Thank you so much, Rudy.